Okay, let's go ahead and create a new scene, and we'll call this run cycle. And we're going to make this a Toonz raster level and hit OK. And we're going to do yes. And I'm working at 24 frames a second. And let's go ahead and make a new brush, and we'll come over here, and I like to use this little pencil brush right here. And basically what we're going to do, let's do a little bit of pre-planning, okay? So the idea is we're going to have a character, and we're just going to keep it really simple, okay? And I have this character named Bean, and you guessed it, he is shaped like a bean. But I'm going to change my brush down to 0 and see if I like that. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Okay, so he is shaped like a bean, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 run cycles, and we're going to have him up in the air like this. And he's kind of based off of Plankton from SpongeBob, okay? And he's going to be looking back like this. We're just going to keep it really simple. And he has a unibrow, and he's going to be smiling, okay? He's going to be like, ha-ha. Like maybe he just tricked somebody. He's got these, we'll do 3 teeth here. And now he's like running away from them, okay? And we're going to have, let's just do a light line like this. You know what? We're just going to reuse him over and over, okay? So let's copy this and paste it. We're going to put it here, and let's paste it again over here, and paste it over here. And let's paste him one more time over here, okay? And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 runs. And so this first cycle is going to be on 8s, okay? So we're going to have 8 drawings before we get to the next foot cycle, okay? So let's mark this 8s, and we're going to animate this on 2s. Okay, so hopefully this will make sense. So we're going to have each of these drawings we're going to hold for 2 frames, okay? And so this is up, and we'll have, let's see, up, contact. This will be his down position. Okay, right there. Let's see if we can get this to work out. I'm just going to erase his legs on this one. This way we don't have to redraw every drawing. We're just going to kind of modify what we already have just for the planning stage, okay? Okay, so what we're going to do is have this one and this one be the downs. Let's put his foot like this, and maybe that's his other foot is coming up like that. And then this is a push off, okay? And then he comes to this up, and then this will be a contact for the other foot, and this will be the down for the other foot, okay? So down, contact, up, push off, and down. And if you need to, you could do down, and this is his left foot. So we could do L, and this is his down for the right foot. And then this will be the push off. Okay. So this is kind of the plan. And also we're gonna do a transition into this faster run. Oh, and he's got those antennas, so maybe they're really dragging behind. That might be funny. Okay, because he's going so fast. Okay, so let's put this into action and see what we get. All right, so let's go ahead and create a new Toonz raster level, and we'll call this runs, and hit OK. And let's go ahead and get another pencil brush over here. Okay, so let's just plug these drawings into our timeline and just see how they feel and see if they work, okay? So let's take this one and we're going to copy it and come over to column 2 and we're going to paste it, right? So if we hide the first one, we can see this first drawing, okay? And let's just bring it down here and scale it up. We're going to scale all these up. And they're going to look blurry, all right? But that's okay cuz we're going to draw over these later. Okay. So let's go ahead and lock that first column and let's just insert 2 frames and come down here to 3. And let's get our brush and just click somewhere in here to create a blank drawing. And now let's come over here and let's get the selection tool and we'll do the push off and we'll do edit, copy, and then we'll come back over here and edit, paste. Okay, we'll turn on onion skinning and we'll get this down here and we're going to scale it up to the same size, roughly. Okay, that's the push off. Okay, so we're going to go through every image on this first run cycle and do that. Okay, so let's insert 2 frames, come down here to 5 and click. And let's go back here and do that for the third drawing right here. And we get the shadow as well. So edit, copy, come over here and edit, paste. Remember, we're going to do this run on 2s. Okay, we're going to hold every drawing for 2 frames. So let's get him over here. Let's make him a little bit bigger. Yeah, like that. Okay. And we'll insert a frame, so we'll hold that on 2s. Okay, so I'm just going to go through the rest of these and do the same thing. Okay, so let's come over here and lock and hide that first column and just hit play and see how it feels. Okay, he's kind of all over the place. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. So here he is down and then he comes up. So let's just scoot him over a hair. And now let's hit play. Okay, that looks a little better. Cool. Okay, so now let's do the other side of the run and we can just draw these in. Okay, so now that we kind of have our timing and what's going on, let's go ahead and auto renumber this. Okay, 13579. So if we come back here, this is basically 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, let's hide that and lock it and come back over to our second column. And now let's come in here and get the other feet. Okay, so there's the down. So on 11, this will be just going to do it really rough. Okay, we can always go back in here and clean this up later. Okay, we just want to get the motion down. So this is the push off. So maybe this foot's coming back. So let's get him up a little. And okay. And this is how I would do it if I'm not copy and pasting everything, okay? Let's get this foot up like this. Hold it on 2s. Go down to frame 13. And this will be the up. And we could come up here to frame 5 and turn on the onion skinning and just see what he looks like at frame 5. And let's turn on this onion's getting like that, okay, with the blue dot. All right, so here he is up here. And again, I'm just gonna quickly rough this in, okay? So maybe these antennas are dragging, and maybe his arms are still kind of dragging, but now this foot's up like this. And this one's back there and you don't really see it much, okay? Let's get his mouth in here real quick. Okay, hold that on 2s. And insert a frame. Let's go to 15. And so this is the contact pose. Coming down. But remember, we're doing the other foot this time. Okay, maybe his arms are kind of dragging up like this, and his antennas are starting to come up. Okay, so that's this foot, the front foot now, okay? And that back foot's starting to like passing. Okay, let's auto renumber this. And we're trying to get back to this down, which is 1. So let's go to frame 17 and double click and hit 1 and enter. And we can repeat this whole thing. We select everything and drag this handle down, like to say 32. Now we've just looped both run cycles. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. Okay, so let's hit play. Now from here, we need to get to the second run cycle. I'm going to hide that. Okay, which is the same timing, right? Same number of drawings, but now he's looking forward. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to use a few frames to transition into that. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's go down to frame 33 and click. And this is still a down, but now he's starting to turn his head. Okay. His antennas are starting to like come up. And maybe he closes his eyes like this. Okay. And he's still going to have a smile, but maybe his mouth closes a little, you know, just because this is like a down and kind of a squash. Let's just get that. Let's see which foot's in front. Okay, it's this foot. Okay, and that one's back there. Okay, and let's insert 2 frames and come down to 35. And this will be a push off, but with this front leg. And let's still have him have his eyes closed like this, okay? Because I just want that to kind of read a little bit more. That his eyes are closed. Okay, and it's this foot, this front foot pushing off. And maybe his antennas are doing this. Like they're starting to swing around, okay? So let's insert 2 frames and go to frame 37. Okay, and this is an up, right? But now the up this up is him opening his eyes, and his pupils are looking in the direction he's going to go. And now his smile has turned to this side. And maybe his hands are kind of dragging a little. And now this foot is the one forward, that back foot. And this one is out like this. Okay, and so we're just going to repeat our run cycle from this pose contact down, right? And then we could repeat that as many times as we want. Let's click and auto renumber and go down to 39. I hope this is making some sense. So now we can get, you know, he's starting to come down like this. This is his contact. Okay. Maybe his arms come up. His smile is now on this side. Maybe this foot is out like that. Okay. Maybe his antennas are starting to drag. And his eyes are turning a little more away from us. And maybe his eyebrows drag. Okay. Insert 2 frames and come down to 41. And this will be a down. Okay, so we're just going to repeat this as many times as we need. So I'm going to turn his face almost all the way away from us. I'll leave his arms up like this. And this will be okay, I'm just keeping track of these legs. So this one's out, and now this one is in. That's the back leg. So this is a down, but on the back leg. And this one is up like this. Okay. I'm just flipping, drawing to drawing. Okay. Let's auto renumber this. And let's see where our first drawing is. So, well, he still turned his head all the way. So let's go. Let's just keep this run train going, okay? So insert frame, frame 43. This will be a push off. Okay. Maybe we can kind of stretch his body a little. Get his mouth open a little more. Yeah. Okay, get these antennas. His arms. I'm just roughing this in. This is his back leg. Okay. The front leg. Let's scoot that back a little. Okay, insert 2 frames. And let's auto renumber. Okay, and so we're going to go up, push off, and now we're going to get up. And when we do the squash on this one, now we're going to start transitioning into the other run cycle, okay? So here he is up. He's like, yeah. Okay. Insert 2 frames. And now this is a contact pose. Okay. So I'm just going to leave, well, no, I'm going to draw the face. Here we go. Because that's a really important part, because he's going to have his mouth closed and he's going to change expressions. Okay. Insert 2 frames. Let's auto renumber this because I want my frames to match my drawings. 1 and 1, 3 and 3. It just helps me stay really organized, and I can see which parts are looping. And when I get back to original drawings, okay? So he comes up. And so now let's get a transition at 49 where he's gonna, let's kind of get him to squash down and close his eyes again like this. Okay. And then maybe his arms really come up and maybe his mouth closes. Okay, let's insert 2 frames and he's coming up, and you can make this as long as you want. And what I'm going to do is get him up into a pose, but then I'm going to ease up into it. So let's add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I'll show you why. So 45, he's going to be up here. Okay, like this. His body may have gotten too big right there. Let's shrink it down. Okay, but this is his up position, just like we've been drawing all along, okay? But he's like, yeah. But that's at 55. Let's auto renumber. And so at 53, I'm going to favor into that 55. So I'm going to favor that red drawing in there, okay? Okay, and again, we're just keeping it quick and loose, okay? Just want to see if this is working. Okay, and now as he starts to come out of it into that contact, this next drawing, let's have him favor that up pose, but let's have him get angry and his arms make fists. And now this is his contact pose, right? His antennas are coming back. And now when he gets down, he's leaning forward. Okay, so this is the down of that back foot, and this foot's coming up, and this is where we're going to start to go on ones. Okay, so as he comes down, he's like, and he's got these fists like this, and I'm just going to take out those frames because I want to go on ones from now on. So 59, let's get our onion skinning on ones. And so boom, 60. This is him pushing off. But he's not going to go as much up and down as the last run cycle. Okay. And he's still doing a run cycle, but not a whole lot. Because this is a really fast run and it's on ones. Okay. So 62. We could, just for, the sake of speeding this up, let's just copy this, come down to 62 and paste it. And then get this to be our contact pose. And its feet are up like this. Okay, maybe these are dragging up a little. And then we'll get this down. We'll just reuse this down, edit, copy, edit, paste. Okay, and let's try another little secret. Since he has skinny legs, let's just go in here and go 62, 63, 64, 65. And we'll see if we can reuse those. 62, 63, 64, 65. Let's just loop those for a little bit and see if it works. Because you might not be able to tell that his legs are the same legs, okay? So let's come up here, go to frame 1, and just hit play. Oh yeah, that's funny. I really like that. That's pretty cute, okay? Okay, and so now what I would do is create a new column on top of this one to the right and do a cleanup pass of this whole character. I hope you enjoyed this. Get out there, make some run cycles. Happy animating, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.